All right, hey gamers, look what we got. We got Ross and Matt here. Ross from IDW. This is Rick with GTM, Game Trade Media, live from Origins Game Fair 2018 from beautiful Columbus. Well, we'll just call it Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, I love Columbus too. Oh, it's so good.
Well, I'm from Michigan, so it's an Ohio-Michigan rivalry thing.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but I will
I'm
say
from
this.
San Diego, then, where everything is super good.
Yeah,
so.
it's amazing. I used to live there a long time ago, many, many moons. But the food here is amazing.
The food's super good.
Have you guys eaten it anywhere particular that you've enjoyed?
The Tiki Bar, we had rum drinks.
Oh,
yeah, the Tiki Bar. The Tiki Bar is great.
Yeah, yeah. At the food group, there was pulp and fruit things in it, so it's good, right?
I can dig it. So we're going to talk about IDW Games. Tell us a little bit about what IDW Games is all about.
So IDW Games, we're a division at IDW Publishing.
Okay.
So and IDW does, we do TV shows, we do comics, we do books, we do games, we do all kinds of cool stuff. And right now, IDW's been rocking a lot of really neat stuff. Like on the game side, we've been doing Kickstarters, we've been doing cool retail releases, a lot of fun licenses as well. Working with designers, working with some our own stuff too. It's been a lot of fun. This year, we had a Kickstarter for Masque of the Red Death. We had a Kickstarter for Legend of Korra a little bit last year, which was now then fulfilled. We just finished a campaign for Splat Attack with Nickelodeon 90s Nicktoons, which is super cool. You know, and along with that, we've had a lot of really fun licenses, working with Dragon Ball Z, and working with Nickelodeon, working with Legend of Korra, working with Turtles, working with X-Files, and Dirk Gently, and working with a lot more kind of like all the Atari stuff with the video games on the way.
Oh, the Atari stuff is
it's been super cool, right? And so, yeah, it's really neat because we're embracing a lot more with the animes and the nostalgia and a lot of cool, fun shows too. And yet we still get to do fun games that are, you know, designer and unique stuff, which is great. So with IDW, we get to work with designers and artists to kind of celebrate the fun part of making games. Yeah,
very cool. So tell us about the Masque of the Red Death.
Cool, let's get right into that, right?
Yeah.
So we have our Masque of the Red Death, which ran on Kickstarter earlier in January. So it's all artwork fully illustrated by Grizz Grimley.
Okay.
So he is an awesome, like, watercolor, awesome, just great artist in general. So it's about Masque of the Red Death from Edgar Allan Poe. And
all of our friends at Baltimore are probably going to love that because, you know, that's where Edgar
is.
Yeah.
And if they aren't cultured and haven't read the short story, we included it in the rule book as well.
Oh, wow.
So it's super cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So, which is super fun. And along with that, so the game's by Adam Wise, and he's an awesome game designer.
Okay.
And so the game's a 4 to 7 player party game.
Party game.
Party game. Well, it was you're at a party.
Yeah.
Right. So, but in the game, you are trying to become the most popular, while at the same time trying to remember and learn which rooms the Red Death will be in once midnight comes.
Okay.
So you've got different cards that you can play, and on these cards they've got where's the camera at? Right over there. Cool. So I'll just go wee. There we go. Right. You can kind of see him, kind of not. I don't know what's going on.
Hold on.
There we go. That's my beard. It's great. So we have like a discuss card, so it allows you to talk with different players, and then I've got like a jest card right here, which allows you to like make fun of other players and gain your popularity because you're gossiping and doing all these things that nobles would do. You've got a personality card that lets you draw more cards you can rumor with and do things. And so all these cards you've got here, you can play one to turn, and that allows you to essentially move up this gossip and popularity track.
Okay.
So it's neat because players can't be on the same tile, so you'll skip. So there's a lot of leapfrogging.
Okay.
So, which is fun because you can kind of manage, okay, I'm in the back, I'm in the middle. Maybe I want to wait until there's more players in front so I can get more out of that +1 to make it a +4.
Okay.
Or whatever. So that's neat. While at the same time, you're also going around and learning which room the Red Death will be in once midnight strikes. And so once death comes, essentially, you've got to look at these cards here, and they will show that maybe you're going to have at 12:40, death will be in the green room.
Okay.
Right? Or at 12:20, he'll be in the pink room. Right? And so you need to gather information from those different decks so that once time is run out, you got to make sure that you don't die.
Okay. And I love the grandfather clock there.
Yes, it's an excellent clock. It's super cool. It keeps track of time with these one hand that moves on the board. It's also magnetic, so it folds up into the box if you don't want to keep it all done. It's good to go. It does absolutely everything that looks great. So wonderful game component.
Brings great table presence.
It really does, right? It pops out. So yeah, so that's the Masque of the Red Death, kind of a nice little overview.
Oh, yeah.
It's a super fun party game. You're at a party. Right. And all the art's really great. It's got everything is uniquely done up. And we get on my card.
And what happens if someone dies? this young lady dies, is there anything in particular? Like, do you flip the card over?
Yeah, so when it flips over, you've got your RIP as
All right.
well. Look at that. Ooh.
Out.
Right? So, yes, you need to manage your popularity and gossiping and do all that while learning about what room you got to be in.
I love it.
So it's
Very
neat.
cool.
So it's on a boat right now. So so Kickstarter backers are going to get their copies first.
Right.
And they have a cool version as well. And then from that, it'll go into retail. We're really excited for this game. It's it's great.
I love it. So what else did you bring this?
So we also brought, we'll go with Matt. We'll do it up, right? So we have our, so we've got our, so we had a series of games, both designed by Matt, for Everything is Connected.
It's true.
And we had a Dirk Gently and now X-Files game.
Okay.
And a giant explosion, wonderful. And so in this game, Matt, you want to, so Matt's the designer, so Matt will go on now.
All right, so I got it. So basically what you're doing is you are taking turns playing as Mulder, while everyone else is FBI tribunal, although tribunal, there's not always three, who have called you up before them to explain why your ridiculous conspiracy theory is actually true instead of like the totally reasonable, sensible solution that Scully presented.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to have a conspiracy that's going to come up like a man is thrown from the 29th story of a building, then walks away seemingly uninjured, right? And Scully's like, oh, he's a stunt man, there was a thing, it was a trick.
Right.
And Mulder's like, no, actually.
Right. He's a doppelganger.
Exactly. And you have some evidence cards, and basically what you're trying to do is turn this into a ridiculous conspiracy.
Okay.
And you're using this evidence to try to convince everyone that you're very reasonable. But in a twist that I really like compared to a lot of story games is that you are not being judged on your story so much as the other players are trying to collude and know what the general tone of the room is. So you tell your story as Mulder, and then without talking, everyone else votes thumbs up. That was a reasonable conspiracy. Thumbs down, back to the basement with you, Mulder, right? And you get a point if you vote with the majority, right?
Okay.
Because you're embarrassed if you believe nonsense, or if you're like, I'm a skeptic, and they're like, what are you talking about? That was a great reporting of news, or rather, mystery, FBI investigating or whatever. Mulder player does get a bonus point if they are believed, but really the primary scoring is all done out of phase with you telling a story. So it's a really easy way for you to maybe not love storytelling games as much and still win. You can also easily play without being a storyteller, and you just get to participate in the voting if you truly hate having to be on the spot telling stories.
And how many players is that
we got like some arms here. Should I do some stuff? We got some conspiracy cards.
So Matt, how many players is that game?
So I actually don't know officially what it says, but it's pretty flexible. Yeah, it says 8+ actually. Yeah, so it is. It says 8+, which is pretty accurate. Once you get above 10, it starts to get pretty wonky, just in terms of so many players trying to pay attention and everything.
It's 3 to 8+.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I can dig it.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, it's really loose. It's about telling these ridiculous conspiracies, and then trying to link together the CIA of Wendigo and...
Matt,
here's one for you. When members of a large D&D group have their characters die in game, they themselves are found dead the following day.
All right. Well, so obviously the CIA was flying an experimental aircraft in the area where they were playing D&D, and they dropped a bunch of acid out of it, like some chemtrails sort of stuff. Right. And so everyone thought that they saw a Wendigo, and they just couldn't tell the difference between D&D and reality, and they actually died of like heart attacks because they didn't die in the same way. It's not like they were cut in half by an axe. They just died like, freaked out because they were so
tripping.
They thought, they were tripping so hard. And it was basically just like phantasmal force, right? Phantasmal force, right? Because you can die from that in AD&D rules, at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
From mental anguish of thinking you were dead. So, really it worked out.
Absolutely.
There's also usually a 1-minute timer that we play with
that was
for the conspiracy portion.
That was
pretty good.
But, it keeps it snappy. And then everybody else would say, believe, don't believe, right?
I'm going to go with believe.
Great.
Thumbs
up, then all of us would get a point for 3 players because you guys agreed, and then I get a point because you believed it. If there is a split decision, none of the judges get a point, but Mulder will take the point because, like, split decision is good enough. Like, I'm going to walk on out of here with, like, everyone kind of maybe believing.
Questioning their own beliefs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, I don't know, right?
That's cool. That's
but yeah, there's another game in the series, Dirk Gently, that came out a little earlier. It has a slightly different scoring mechanic that's more tied in to the Dirk Gently experience, right? We tried to get a thematic way of actually scoring and playing the game that ties in with what goes on in the various license.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we have some other ones maybe happening at some point.
We'll see.
Coming down
I
the
mean,
pipe.
it'd be cool and keep everything connected.
You should email IDW and say, we want more, everything is connected.
We would love that. You should do that.
I agree. Now you have one last game you want to show
Yeah,
us?
one more game we're going to show off. Let me remove these conspiracy things going on here. And
Let's
so,
get this garbage back.
not even, right?
in its
It's all
hole.
good, right? So I'll move some of this stuff over so I can get some more space on this table. So we have another game that has, it's on its way right now.
Okay.
So Deathnote Confrontation. So which is super cool. It's a Jordan and Mandy game.
Okay.
So for those that don't know the
Really, those guys are so cool.
yeah, right?
That's great.
Yeah, and so they had pitched it last year with Spencer and did a whole thing, and so it's neat. So those don't know the Death Note anime.
Right.
So it's gaining a lot of traction right now. They just got a Netflix movie.
The live action.
The live action one, right? And then they also got announced in the Jump Force video game at E3 earlier this week. So they're going to fight against Goku and Frieza and One Piece and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
So in the game, so you play as L and Kira. So it's a head-to-head game.
Okay.
So it's right in the show where the police are trying to find out where Kira is.
Okay.
Obviously, who is he, right? And so L has been feeding different information to different TVs because they figured out that he is getting his information of which killers to kill from the televisions.
Okay.
So your job as L is going to be to feed information to Kira, and then Kira needs to throw you off the trail while still getting points.
Okay.
So at the beginning of the game, Kira will draw one of these cards of people, and it'll tell him which suspect he is, right? So I have suspect P right here. So that'll tell me which one I am for that, right? And so then Kira will then go to the book. So in the book, there's chapter 1 and chapter 2 of each stuff. So here's the chapter 1. Right, so it's super neat. So it shows the city you've got right there, and it also shows how to play on top of every book. So even as you flip through each page, there's still the rules there and all of that.
All right.
So then you're going to go, and if we can go find suspect P on the board there, which is going to be right there. So there's suspect P, and then we'll put this cool block on it, and that's the region that we're going to be in. So that's where we can do our killings at. Awesome, we got to do it through the camera. I got it, there we go. So along with that, so you're going to get 15 points as the killer.
Right.
And you get points by killing the knife for 1, killing the gun heal for 2, and the bombs for 3.
Okay.
So it's a race for L to then who needs to find out where Kira's at. And so what'll happen is at the beginning of the game, you'll each choose an A or a B for one of these cards that'll flip over, and that card will, it's always random whether it's going to be a gun or a bomb or a knife, and so you randomly choose A or B. There's no other knowledge you get. You just need to figure out if they're going to pick an A or a B.
Okay.
And then depending on if L wins that guess, then L gets to draw a suspect card.
Okay.
Which is cool because then you know it's not one of these ones.
Right.
So that lets you kind of lower it out. And then if Kira wins, Kira gets points.
Okay.
For killing one of those guys. Then you roll the dice, and it'll get different suspects. And so you've got these. So you've got a bomb and a gun and another bomb.
Okay.
Right. So then L will then give the information off of which of those 3 they were. So it'll say, it'll say bomb 1 and knife 6, or gun 3, right?
Okay.
And so then Kira, if Kira's able to, in that region, will do a death and kills the people. But Kira can also call up to 2 that are outside of the region to throw off the detective. Yeah, to kind of figure out what's going on. And so, here's one of our last games we played a little bit. So where I kind of tracked down the different things was going on. So I was circling, we know it's not them, and you got to figure out, because the same thing, you got to use that information to figure out who's where in that region.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah, it's super cute. It's really fun because you're truly trying to math it out and figure out, okay, if I give information there and do it up. So Jordan Manny did a good job with this. Okay. And then for chapter 2, once you kind of get through it and you want to play a little harder game, here's a way more full, dense city, right? And so,
Dang.
yeah, so it's way more full, and so you got to play around with that and do it up from there.
So it's a 2-player game.
2-player.
And about how long does it take to play one game?
We were done in like maybe 20 minutes,
Wow,
right? But
that's
it's
not
quick,
bad.
and you're like math. You're like trying to think it out too. It's like a really intense battleship, right?
Right.
So because you're giving it the information there and head to head, and you want to play right again right away.
Right.
Like we played it a couple times last weekend before coming to the show.
Right.
Yeah, it flows really well. It's super quick. I think people are really gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, I like it.
So and even if you're not a fan of Deathnote, it's a good like head to head kind of like deduction cop game.
Right.
So
Very
yeah.
cool. I love it. And where can someone go if they want to find and follow all of IDW's content, and so they don't miss out on any news?
So we are on all social medias. So we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and our website. So go to idwgames.com. We've got a newsletter you can sign up for as well. We do monthly releases for that. Along with that, there we go, the front one there. So we've got our social media and our website, and then IDW Publishing. You can follow our games announcements are on there as well. Additionally, Matt Fantastic, you can follow him online on social media. It's great. You will learn a lot of things about games and life.
Yeah, I curse a lot.
Lots of life. Lots of life.
I tell a lot of people to punch Nazis. And,
It's good stuff. It's the way to go. So all of
I'm
that.
a man with opinions.
So and his games are all in there as well, which is super fantastic.
On brand.
It's kind of on brand.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
So-
that's pretty. Your Matt, your page is Prettiest Princess Games or Pretty Princess
Well,
Games.
so I have some hot scoops that we'll talk about on Sunday or whenever I'm here. Tomorrow, Sunday.
Okay.
I'm on later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't want to tease
Okay.
too much.
This
All right,
is just
all right.
IDW.
All right.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wanted, you're here with.
Matt's
there.
cooking the fires.
There's
All
cool,
right.
there's cool stuff going on.
Yeah,
I love it.
Essen this year, there's going to be a real big drop.
Okay.
Of publishing stuff.
All right, I can dig it.
Yeah, and then upcoming for us as well. So IDW has a lot of fun stuff in the works. So along with Deathnote and Masque and our X-Files game, we have our we just announced we're going to be doing more Shadows of the Past for Turtles.
Okay.
So be staying tuned for that, which will be super fun. Splat Attack is going to be up on Backer Kit. So if you want to be a part of the 90s Nickelodeon game, it'll be on Backer Kit there, and you can join that campaign too. We have some fun announcements. We'll be previewing some more stuff. Dragon Ball Z is pretty cool. We have a Batman Gotham City, the animated series game.
Oh,
That's
nice.
really cool.
So, and that it's a Richard Lanius. It's all new Batman animated series art. So stay tuned for that. We have some new stuff in the video game nostalgia line as well.
Okay.
And then we have some fun tin games in the work. We've kind of previewed a little bit at Toy Fair and Gamma,
Okay,
so
yeah.
that'll be super fun.
Very
So,
cool.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
we got it's good times.
Yeah, very cool. So there you
Yeah.
go, everybody. Make sure you go check out IDW Games on all social media platforms. Sign up for the newsletter. Get involved. Become part of that community because I'm sure they're going to want you to be there.
We love that.
Yeah,
It'd be great.
that would be awesome. Make sure you go to Carolina Game Tables and check out all the things they have.
For their awesome streamer
And,
table.
Yeah, this is a great
Yeah, this is
table. We
great.
appreciate them letting us use it all weekend long here at Origins. And also, we're doing a big board game prize pack giveaway.
Oh, what?
So if you go to gtmgiveaway.com, you can sign up and win a huge, I mean, it's going to be monstrous. We did one at PAX last year. It was huge. I think this one's going to be even bigger.
Are those
So,
all mystery games?
well, it's blacked out, but it's going to be about that much stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's going to be crazy. We've announced a few of the games that are in there.
Okay.
So, we'll see who all gets in, and you guys enter, and someone's going to win, and we're going to pay probably freight to get it to you.
There you go. Wow, that's great. Cool.
Get a whole pallet.
Yeah, it's going to be
Right.
monstrous.
But all
So-
painted by you too, right?
God. No. By Dave Taylor.
Yeah, my Dave Taylor there. That's for you, Dave. That's for you, Dave.
So on that note, I'm Rick. This is Game Trade Media live from Origins. I'll see you at the game store.